showtime.
Don't hold me now, I can stand my own ground. I don't need your help now, you won't let me down, down, down. Don't hold me now, I can stand my own ground. I don't need your help now, you won't let me down, 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 down.
Alright, and here we go. Game 2, round of 8, Razer TSL. We have White-rA with Protoss in the bottom left of Wuthering Heights. In the bottom right, we have Draco. And as you saw, White-rA in the lead, 1-0 against Draco. And we were talking earlier, you know, this is probably going to be a really hard-fought macro game. And looking at these positions, I think so. These are really close positions. There is, I believe, one mineral-only base basically right in between them at 6 o'clock. So, you know, that of course won't be taken, far too close to each other. But we should see a lot of battles right down in the middle of the map here.
Yep, for sure. The wide open choke into the natural kind of supports Zealot play. I think the Protoss vs Protoss we saw before, both players opened 2 gate, if I'm not mistaken, and we're probably going to be seeing that again. A lot of Zealot heavy rushes, especially if they scout quickly and realize how close they are to each other.
Now, if you remember back, Draco versus Cloud, he opened up with DT build and beat Cloud, and now he opened up with the DT build against White-rA here. So, you know, maybe this is just his, you know, best of 3, best of 5 strategy. You know, open up with the DT. They may be playing extra safe in the first game or something like that, and you know, I don't think we're going to see any sort of DT thing out of him again. I think he's going to play a much more standard PvP this time. He knows he's got to win, and he's got to know that he's got probably the best mechanics outside of Korea. So, you know, he's probably going to want to get that into play, don't you think?
Yeah, I'd imagine that Draco, in my mind at least, probably thinks he's a better player. And of course, the better player, or if you think you are the better player, you're going to want to take it to the late game, not open up with something where you can't recover from your mistake. We can see White-rA has scouted Draco on his first try, whereas Draco is going the wrong way. Now that he sees that probe, he will realize that White-rA is at the bottom left. And we can see both players have taken their geyser, so forget everything I said. We have a Zealot coming out for White-rA and for Draco at the exact same time. And second pylon for White-rA, whereas... oh, there goes the second pylon for Draco. So mirroring build orders so far.
Yep, we saw that White-rA immediately changed his plans. It looked like he was going to go for a tech build, and then, you know, he gets that extra pylon because he knows he needs the Zealot against this close position. And Draco, knowing it's a close position without scouting it, because of the quick scout, you know, he follows suit immediately. So far an exact mirror, but look at this. We do have the core first for White-rA. Draco, as of yet, no core, but he is making a second Zealot here. But at the same time, so is White-rA. And look at this. White-rA has blocked his choke with 1 probe and 1 Zealot. Very nice move right there. Keeping that scouting probe out is a big deal. These cores are going to be late because of the Zealots being made because of the close positions. So keeping his scout out altogether, that is very nice.
Yeah, exactly. We keep saying how important scouting is at the high level, and I mean, it really is. We see a Zealot for Draco coming in now. He'll probably target that probe and try to run by. The probe gets taken out, but White-rA does have a second Zealot immediately take its place. So unfortunately, no scouting for Draco at this point. He is playing blind, and we should expect to see a build to respond to that. We can see White-rA is getting Dragoon range before a second gateway, whereas Draco has decided to actually get a second gateway. It's almost complete now, so we do have diverging builds at this point.
Indeed, but Draco is getting that range right away. It looks like he's doing a somewhat bland build here to not get run over by White-rA. And look at this. He punches right through his Zealot there, and a Goon pops right out, and Draco retreats. So Draco does see that he is going for at least Dragoon tech at this point, but he doesn't have a whole lot of information here. And here he tries to sneak in that probe. Will a Dragoon get it? No, the Dragoon freezes, but a probe grabs it on its way by. So he does see the range upgrade. He does see the 1 gate. And, you know, he can assume that he's pretty safe at this point. And after that probe dies, it looks like White-rA is getting a Robo once again, and look at this. We have Draco getting the 3 gate, so it looks like Draco is going to have a lot of units really quickly here. And if White-rA opens up with the quick observer, you know, this could be very strong against him. He still doesn't have a second gate up, and there it goes, second gate just now. But Draco will have the unit advantage, at least for a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Draco's third gate is actually going to finish before White-Ra's second gate. And as you said, exactly, if there's an observer, it's going to be a disaster. Draco moving in now. It looks like he's trying to pick up this Dragoon, which is at 12 HP. It looks like he should be able to get it. And White-Ra does not have very many units. He's got 2 Dragoons and a Zealot, whereas Draco has 2 Zealots and 3 Dragoons. So it looks like he's trying to move in now. That damage Dragoon, clearly a factor. It'll be taken out immediately. And we'll have to see if Draco tries to follow up by just killing White-Ra or just containing him and expanding him, and expanding himself. He can't feel too safe just expanding without knowing that Dark Templar could be on the way. But we see that White-Ra has got at the observatory first, playing safe, but that could be his downfall, as Draco has range finish now, moves in, fires a shot, but then backs off as he sees White-Ra also has range.
Now, luckily for White-Ra, he knows something's up. He is getting Observer, but he added those 2 gates, so when Draco's units were coming, he realized that there was going to be a lot of pressure this game, and rightfully so with these close positions. And now we see that White-Ra is pretty well contained right now by Draco. So Draco really has sort of an advantage here just through this contain. And we see Draco running up now, and Draco, he is actually 8 supply ahead of White-Ra right now, which is a pretty big deal when it's a mirror matchup like this, and they're both doing very similar builds.
A bit of a misstep there by Draco. The Zealot moved in by an accident and gets taken out basically for nothing. So a little bit of a mistake there. We still haven't seen what Draco is trying to do to follow this up. We haven't seen an expansion or any further tech. It looks like he's just trying to pressure with these Dragoons. But of course he can't move in because moving through that little choke would be a disaster. He is targeting that Dragoon, takes it out. Looks like White-Ra has had enough. He's trying to break out. He's got a single Zealot which is going to get taken out, and now it's Dragoon on Dragoon. It looks like Draco has a better position. He has a concave, and it looks like he has more units at this point. White-Ra forced to retreat, but he is down several Dragoons at this point.
It looks like White-Ra is not going to live for very much longer here. Draco with 6 goons outside the choke, all ranged. Inside the choke, we just have 2 goons left, 1 goon left for White-Ra. Draco running right in. White-Ra smartly targeting the damage goons, and GG, he outs. Draco takes the next game very convincingly, 1-1.
Wow, I guess a little bit of mind games come in there. Draco knew that White-Ra would not open Dark Templar. As a result, just went 3 gate Dragoons, no need for further tech. I am surprised that he managed to bait White-Ra to move out from his choke, but I guess White-Ra paid the price trying to move out too early.
Indeed, White-Ra did move out too early there, and he paid for it with the game. Draco ties it up 1-1, and you know, this is already getting. These 2 guys are the juggernauts of Protoss. I mean, crazy good players, so accomplished. It's just thrilling to see them play each other.
Alright, so we're just getting set up for Game 3. Game 3 will be on Blue Storm. Just take a moment here to get the game up, and I'd like to mention what these guys are playing for. This more than pride on the stake for today. More than pride at stake today. The winner, of course, moves on to the semifinals of the Razer TSL, and in the semifinals, they're guaranteed $500. The loser today will go home with $250, which, while not being bad, is a far cry from the top prize of $5,000 for the winner. Of course, these prizes are furnished by our sponsor, which is Razer. Razer, for those of you who don't know, is a gaming paraphernalia company. They make mice, gaming mats, and have branched into some areas that you might not think of, such as audio and gaming controllers. So, again, big thank you to them for their sponsorship. They make the big prizes possible, and the big prizes make this a lot of fun. So, like I said, guys, we're getting on to Game 3. This is Blue Storm coming up. 1-1 so far. It seems like Draco took a kind of no-nonsense approach to that last game, eh?
Yeah, he did. That was just a straight-up battle right there. Draco just switched right over to the 3 gates and pounded White-Ra right into oblivion.
So moving on to Game 3 now, we're going to be playing on Blue Storm, and of course the key thing to remember about Blue Storm for Protoss vs. Protoss is the central gully. The map kind of comes to its peak, the high ground at the third base of both players, and then moves downwards through the center. So whoever controls the high ground on either side kind of controls their entire half of the map. And also there is a small entrance into the natural expansion, which only a Zealot can fit through. So we should see that blocked pretty quickly, and then straight into Dragoon play.
Yeah, definitely. We saw Draco play here before against Cloud, and you know, if we don't see them both go 2-gate Zealot into expand, that'll be really surprising. So, as you said, you know, it's probably going to be played out like that.